Meanwhile, a U.S. warship deployed to the Middle East shot down 3 cruise missiles and several drones fired by Iranian-backed rebels in Yemen that may have been aimed at targets in Israel, the Pentagon has said. The USS Carney, a U.S. Navy destroyer sailing in the northern Red Sea, intercepted the missiles that had been fired by Houthi forces, which have been fighting an insurgent war against Yemen's Saudi-backed regime for several years. U.S. military forces in Iraq were targeted yesterday in 2 separate drone attacks, with one causing minor injuries to a small number of troops, even though the U.S. military managed to intercept the armed drone, according to officials. The official, who spoke to Reuters on condition of anonymity, did not say who was suspected of the attacks on the Al-Assad Air Base and the Al-Harir Air Base, but Washington is on heightened alert for activity by Iran-backed groups as regional tensions soar during this war. Just a couple of hours ago, U.S. President Joe Biden addressed the nation tonight in a primetime speech.
Early this morning, I returned from Israel. They tell me I'm the first American president to travel there during the war. I met with the Prime Minister and members of his cabinet. And most movingly, I met with Israelis who had personally lived through horrific horror of the attack by Hamas on the 7th of October. More than 1,300 people slaughtered in Israel, including at least 32 American citizens. Scores of innocents, from infants to the elderly grandparents. Israelis, Americans taken hostage. As I told the families of Americans being held captive by Hamas, we're pursuing every avenue to bring their loved ones home. As president, there is no higher priority for me than the safety of Americans held hostage.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is making a surprise trip to Israel ahead of a previously announced trip to China. The governor tweeted just before 10 this morning that he will be meeting with those impacted by the target attacks and will offer California's support. And of course, do stay with MyTV53 for updates on the war.